So how are we doing, guys and girls? I want to start a new YouTube series. I want to try and get out 2 videos a week. I'm going to try and educate people from A to Z on how I see the market. We will be starting off with something like imbalance areas and what an imbalance is. We'll come into more explanation. I will explain it a little more of what it is and why we look for imbalance areas. Basically, an imbalance area is a lack of equality, proportion, or equilibrium between things that should ideally be balanced or equal. Okay, meaning that if you have an imbalance area, there's been a big price push in one direction that would have left areas to be balanced. So let's create a session. Let's just go into GU. Let's have a look at some imbalance areas. There we go. Let's just look somewhere around this. Today we'll create the session, and what we can do is we can go into the 4 hour, okay, and we can look at what imbalances are. Okay, so basically, yeah, the most important part is to understand what an imbalance is. Okay, as we can see here, for example, we've had a big push here or a big push here, and we've come to fill this imbalance area before having another big push to the downside. Okay, we filled some imbalance area in here, yeah, before then having a big push to the high side. Okay, again, imbalance area here, big push up, and we come back to fill this. This is being left open. Okay, we could get this filled, but technically, yeah, we should come back down here and fill this imbalance area. Okay, it's really important for us to understand why we've got these imbalance areas, because we have a big massive push here, okay, and we tend to come back into these areas. We have a big massive push here and we tend to come back into these areas before then pushing back down again. Okay, same again here. Okay, imbalance area, fill, yeah, we fill this imbalance, we come in here, we push one last time, and then we go up. And again, guys, okay, another imbalance area here. Okay, also we've got some liquidity, but we'll get into that in another session. But we just want to stick with imbalance areas, and we want to understand what it wants to do. Okay, so again, guys, yeah, pretty much imbalance areas. Okay, literally to the pip. Yeah, we're gonna come down here, most likely fill this imbalance. So let's see what happens. White. Okay, so what have we left here? We've left some imbalance here. Let's see if we fill this area. We fill this area. No nice reaction as of yet, but we filled that area. So we've had this area filled, and again we've left some imbalance here. Okay, let's see if we can fill this. Here we go, and again, okay, we've left some more imbalance area here now. Let's see if we can fill this imbalance area. Yeah, we filled this. Now also, guys, we've left some imbalance area here. Okay, well, let's see if we can fill this. Okay, we've come into this imbalance area now. We filled this one. Let's see if we can come all the way down here. Also, there's a tiny bit of imbalance left here. And let's see if we can fill this. So, imbalance also here, guys. Yeah. Let's see if we can fill this area. Pretty much filled. Okay, we filled also this imbalance area. So as you can see, guys, yeah, imbalance areas are really important. Okay, they always get filled. Yeah, they have to get filled. Obviously, occasionally we have something like this where we have a big massive push and we don't come and fill this straight away, but we should actually see this getting filled. Let's see if you want to go higher. Okay, we filled some imbalance. Okay, not quite the full imbalance fill. Okay, and also here again we've got like an imbalance area. Okay. What do we have here? We also have some imbalance here. Imbalance to the downside. So we come into this imbalance. So we filled both sides imbalances. And again, imbalance fill. Okay, we always have to fill this imbalance. Yeah. Now, with a lot of guidance and understanding this, which we'll get to after, we keep breaking structure to the high side. Okay, pretty much demand is holding, and this is how we can capitalize on imbalance areas. This is something we will get into later on. Okay, something called order flow, but I just want you guys to understand and focus on imbalance areas and how important they are. Okay, we're obviously building a lot of liquidity. Okay, expect maybe this to fill and then maybe to dump, but yeah, that's just my expectation. And again, okay, we've left imbalance here. Yeah, that's the extreme. We took some liquidity out now. We got some imbalance here. Okay. Yeah. So we filled this imbalance now. Got to understand that we keep filling imbalances. We got imbalance here now. And we keep pushing up to the high side. Okay. It's pretty basic. There's nothing crazy about this imbalance theory. It's just all about filling the imbalance, understanding what it's trying to do. And again, guys, okay, we've got a lot of imbalance here. Okay, we've got to get that filled. We've obviously getting a really good push up imbalance here. So let's see what happens. We fill this one. We fill the second one. Okay, now have we left any imbalance to this side? Yes, we have. Here, imbalance area. Okay, we're pushing down. We've got some imbalance here. So, there we go. Fill some imbalance, and again we push back down. We've got some pretty much imbalance areas here. Okay, pushing down quite aggressively, and again we got some imbalance areas here. So there's a couple of imbalance areas, one up there, one down there. We expect some kind of reaction, especially after taking so much liquidity out. But we'll get to that. All you have to do is just focus on the imbalance areas and what it tends to do. Okay, there you go. Fill the imbalance. We just constantly, obviously, trading to the downside, meaning there's a good possibility. Okay, that we just want to go with the trend, and if we come into these areas, we would like to look for a setup imbalance fill here. We expect to push higher. Okay, now this doesn't mean that we are completely bullish. We've got some imbalance area here. We could see some kind of reaction from here. Maybe not. Okay, maybe it wants to come up here, especially after taking all of this out. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, we've actually come into this. We took this out. Quite nice. We've got some more imbalance areas. Okay. So let's see what happens. Okay, we actually fill this first one. Yeah. Most likely we would like to come into this one now. Okay. We're just trying to figure out what the imbalance areas. We need to try and fill these areas all the time. There's no fill here. Building a lot of liquidity. Now we filled this imbalance area here. We could expect prices to fill higher now. There we go. And then we've got these imbalance areas here. Now we filled this one. If it leaves some imbalance, we'd like to come back into some. We know we have this one left. We've created some kind of imbalance here now. Okay, let's see. Okay, we filled this imbalance and then we pushed up higher. If we created another bit of imbalance, yes, we have this one. Okay. Yeah, nothing too exciting. Have we left imbalance to the high side? Yes, we have. Okay, now I won't be trading anything like this. Alright, once we get into more education, we can understand that this is liquidity here. Maybe an inducement to push higher. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, we are pushing higher. We leave an imbalance. As you can see here, there was left some imbalance. And again, we'll leave more imbalance areas. There we go. We are absolutely pushing higher. Okay. So once you get to a certain level, you understand that this is liquidity take and that we don't really need to come back down here to push higher. Eventually this will get filled. Okay. We will fill this. But yeah, just like this, we fill this imbalance, we fill this imbalance, and then yeah, we look for the rest of the imbalance. So we fill this imbalance, okay, and then we're obviously going to go for this imbalance. So let's see what happens. Obviously we've left some imbalance here to the downside in this area. So let's see what happens. Which side we go to first. Some imbalance area here. Okay, it's just you just have to understand what this market is actually trying to tell you with the imbalance areas, with the direction. But we will get to these points. So today is just something very basic and very simple, is to understand that we have these imbalance areas and the market likes to fill these areas, or like tends to go into them, because yeah, it's a pretty much a price inefficiency that needs to come back into. So obviously we filled this. We probably come into this. We could probably push down. See what happens. Okay, we push higher. We left some more imbalance here. Yeah. Took out this high. We got some imbalance left here. Let's see if we wanna take this. We keep taking these imbalance areas. And again, guys, okay, we're building a lot of liquidity. We will get to this, okay? This is definitely going to get took out. See? Okay, so we will focus on this, but we also would need a clean setup, okay? So here's the liquidity, obviously take. We're leaving imbalance areas. And we probably come into like an extreme up here. Yeah, somewhere here. So we come into this last bit of extreme of imbalance area before then pushing down, taking some liquidity out. Now, okay, we've obviously got this area here, okay, and we've got this area, okay, and we took liquidity. We could see price maybe coming up here, and then maybe coming up here. So let's see what happens. Okay, we filled this imbalance and we're pushing down. Okay, it's the same stuff, guys. It's just understanding what the imbalance tends to do. Okay, see if you can fill this one here now. So we've left some imbalance here, pretty much. Make this quite neat. So there's some imbalance area here. Okay, not quite the fill. There we go, we filled it now and we're pushing lower. Okay, But see how the prices react to these areas. Very interesting. This is like equal lows. You might want to come into this extreme or this one, and then we'll see some kind of change around. Okay, we come into the extreme one. Got a reaction. Again, we've turned very bullish, leaving a lot of imbalances now to this area. So I expect price to come back down here and fill these. Okay, we just have to work with it. So here we go. Imbalance. Okay, there's some more imbalance. Let's see if we can start filling these off. There we go, starting to fill these. Then obviously we are leaving imbalance to this side and here to the extreme. So let's see what happens. Okay, we push down to this one. This is slowly building liquidity. Okay, meaning that it's not very impulsive like this. It's not really leaving any imbalance areas which are completely filled. So we could actually see some really nice reaction from here to push higher. So, or not. We are definitely pushing lower. What areas do we have here? Should we get rid of this for now? We've obviously got this area. Like I said before, we've got these equal lows. Okay. So let's see what happens. Yeah, we filled this area, this imbalance area. Build a lot of liquidity. Like there's a lot. So obviously this area that's being filled. There's a lot of starting to build a lot of liquidity. Okay. We got a reaction from here. Yeah, we're taking a lot of liquidity out to the high side now. There we go. We come into this imbalance area. This one, small reaction, nothing really. We come into the next imbalance area and then we get a really big reaction. Okay. This is filled this here. This extreme completely gone now. Obviously we're leaving a lot of imbalance areas here again, so let's see if we can fill some of this. Pushing very aggressive to the high side. On the 4 hour this is. So let's see if we can fill this here, and then we've got obviously all of these imbalance areas here. Okay, they're very important. So here's your first fill. Here will be the second fill. So this here, there's this coming to imbalance area. Coming to imbalance areas. Fill this one. Let's see if we can get some reaction from these ones. So again, imbalance fill. Got some imbalances here now. It's pretty much filled. There's no imbalance in here other than this. So we do get a tap and push down. Imbalance here pretty much. Or this extreme. Okay, so we've obviously got this imbalance area. We've got this extreme. And obviously to the high side we've got like these imbalance areas. Yeah, aggressively pushing down, just leaving a lot of imbalance areas to the high side. So we've filled this now. And then we can move on to the next ones. So let's see if we get a tag of this one. imbalance fill here. So we fill this one here, come back into this one. One of the imbalances filled here, pretty much filled here. Could be a possibility we could push back up here. Okay, there's some imbalance here now. Little bit of imbalance here, really. And we most likely break this. We go into this extreme area. Definitely pushing down here now. We've got these equal lows here, and we still have this last bit of imbalance. Okay. Also have this bit. Let's see what happens. Right, we've got a lot of imbalance now to the high side, okay? Meaning that there could be a very good possibility that we can start filling all of these imbalances here. So we've got one imbalance fill here, some imbalance left here. The extreme. Okay, interesting. We filled some of this imbalance here actually. Hence the reaction. We filled this imbalance. We've come into this imbalance. We get a reaction out of this. Not quite. Filled this here. And we filled this imbalance. So it's just over and over again, just understanding where the imbalance is. Understanding where the liquidity is, where the order flow is. So this is the extreme now. This is going to be very interesting to see what actually happens here. Okay. I think in this whole leg, all of the imbalance is pretty much filled. So that's the last bit. Push higher. So we've left some imbalance here. Okay, we are absolutely tanking. Let's see where this wants to go. Imbalance here that it likes to get filled, so I'm just going to put this across. Again, let's just see what happens. No fill here. All of this imbalance is filled here. This is pretty much the next stop. Came back into this one. Where's the next stop? Pretty much here. So where did this come into? Some imbalance, not quite the fill, but it's filled most of it. Tag on this one. So we definitely bullish again. I'll be very interested to see if we get a reaction of this here. But we are definitely coming to fill out all of this here now. But again, guys, yeah, just all we have to do is look for the imbalance areas. So the imbalance area here. Okay, imbalance here. Filters imbalance. Let's see if we get a reaction to the buy side from here. Yeah, quite nice. So we have come here, we left some more imbalance, came back to retest this, and then obviously we're just pushing sky high. Now we haven't quite filled this imbalance, okay? Maybe we are going to come into this one. There's another imbalance. I mean, this wasn't filled, but we had a big extreme push down. Maybe take out some of this liquidity and then we might push higher. So there's another one here. So very aggressive push back to the high side. Yeah, got the complete fill here now. And then obviously we have the extreme here too. Pretty much all filled to the sell side. All of this is filled. But yeah, that's just pretty much imbalance, guys. Okay, it's a inefficient price action where two parties are not equal in proportion or a state of equilibrium. Okay, so just try and focus, do some backtesting just on imbalance areas. It works on every time frame. Obviously the 4 hours, the bigger time frame where price tends to move into, but if we can capitalize that with the 5 minute and the 1 minute, then you know we could see some good risk to reward. So that's how I want to end up, you know, the first. That's how I want to end the first strategy or you know, education bit with the imbalance area. It's just to make sure you guys understand what it actually is, and what price tends to do is always fill the imbalance areas. Always likes to come back into these areas. It's like a sort of, it has some kind of attraction to it. But yeah, that's how I want to end the first session. I hope you guys have learned something, and next week there will be I will be bringing out something else.